Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Everyday Superpower signing in. Yo, this one's gonna link over to both the feminine and the masculine, and when I say that, I mean the sexes. All right. So, generally speaking, my fan base is men, and I love you all. So, thank you very much. This one goes out to you primarily, and essentially, what I'm gonna be talking about and exploring in this video, in this conversation on a cliche basis will be yourself, but to extend on that, I want to say you can't force masculinity, and don't fall into the trap of abiding by the rigid principles that these red pill spaces, these masculine spaces, these memes, these characters, these influencers, these manosphere entrepreneurial individuals don't fall and have to abide by the principles and rule sets and boundaries and perimeters they set you and tell you you have to be a man, to be successful, to be attractive, to be everything in between. All right, learn the biological principles of what makes you you, and what I mean is what wires you. You as a human animal, as a man or as a woman, understand what principles makes you you, what biological hardwiring exists within you to have you feel the way you do, have you act the way you do. Look into your background, look into your upbringing, look at who brought you up, how much they brought you up, how they influenced you, your siblings, your carers, your friendship groups. Look into these characters who influenced you during the earlier development stages of you building your character and who you are today. You do not have to be the person, the pinnacle of masculinity, the epitome of masculinity that is showcased to you and, accentuated when it comes to discussion within the realms of attraction and attracting others. The masculine male is just as attractive to the woman as the effeminate male. It just depends how it's worn and who wears it and whether it's honest to that particular person. You see? So when I say understand the biological principles, it would make sense for you to look into the crossover of the animal kingdom and look into the ancestry and the historical basis as to how your animal has grown and procreated and found comfort and solitude and peace within oneself, and think, does that make sense to me? And if it doesn't make sense to you, question why it doesn't. If you want to be big and strong and you enjoy that, you highlight and accentuate that because that's who you are, and that by default is attractive. But if you adore food and cooking and don't have the best physique and so on and so forth, don't fall into the trap that you are not the epitome of masculinity that is pursued by the feminine. Because you are creative, you are nurturing, you are a life giver through your talent, your skills, your understanding, and what you can put together with your bare hands. That's incredibly masculine in its own. Who are you? Because you are not the person they tell you you should be. Not at all. Not at all. With every characteristic, every trait, every recessed element and aspect of your psyche in comparison to every overt element to your psyche, there will be a corresponding and harmonizing energy within particular women that relate. It's all about balance. You don't need to have a ton of money. You don't need to be 6'7". You don't need to be a status symbol. What you need to be is yourself, because fulfilling oneself and understanding one's purpose and one's identity and entity is the most attractive one can be. To be a feminine man in 2023 is deemed inappropriate when it comes to the red pill spaces and when it comes to masculine discussion, but if you look at the pop stars and if you look at the sex symbols and if you look at the androgynous man and what he's capable of, you see the same result, if not tenfold. Because alike, the masculinity creates the divide and accents that which the feminine cannot produce but needs. The feminine man creates a positive mirror into self-confirmation to the feminine, to the narcissistic, self-loving, main character-esque traits we all perceive and all look out into the world through. You don't need to abide that as to which others have told you you should be, because they only understand what they have heard and they are only passing on the understanding as to which they have taken. It made sense to them. Perhaps it doesn't. Maybe they're just trying to sell a product to you, as that tends to be the main case, right? I mean, hell, if I get enough attention on this channel, I'll do the same bloody thing. I'll monetize the hell out of this. But I'll try to be honest. It's about having an open mind and a self-acceptance, and if it doesn't correlate with what the perfect being is, which there is no perfect, then you needn't worry. That's perfect in itself, because you are unique and accepting of oneself, whereas one who is always in pursuit of something that isn't themselves, then it doesn't matter how far you get down the line, you're never going to be comfortable, and then your time's going to be over. That's a little bit of food for thought. I'm signing out.